We return to the arboreal surface of the planet Omega Viridi, where a conflict has broken out between the forces of the Algoryn and the Boromites. A Boromite shuttle in orbit has been destroyed, but a VIP on board was able to make it to an escape pod. This escape pod has crashed into the surface of Omega Viridi and unfortunately found itself right in the middle of a Viridian Viper den. These dangerous creatures with their acidic bile ride throughout the surface around the cloaked pod. The VIP dare not move an inch or deactivate its cloak for fear of the Vipers attacking. Both forces must move quickly to recover this secret pod, lest the VIP fall into enemy hands. But the ever-present Viridian Vipers will be a thorn in their sides. Find out what happens this episode of the Tabletop Warlords.
What's up, everybody? I'm Kevin.
And I'm Sergey.
And we are the Tabletop Warlords. And once again, we find ourselves playing a game of
Beyond the Gates of Antares.
In this episode, we are going to be kind of having another narrative scenario that we've created revolving around yet another Viridian monster.
This scenario is called Crash Landed on a Harsh Planet.
It's kind of like an out of the frying pan and into the fire type of scenario. And in this scenario, I will be playing as the Algoryn.
And I will be playing as the Boromites.
But before we go into this scenario in greater detail, if you would like to help us in our battle against the algorithm, we would appreciate it if you would like this video, subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already, and make sure that notifications are enabled so you can see when new content is released.
If you want to support the channel even further, we have a spring link where you can buy TTW swag and an affiliate link where you can go to the Warlord store to purchase any of the models you see here today.
But if you want to support our channel in the best way panhumanly possible, you should absolutely consider joining our Patreon community. Any level of pledge gains you access to our new video development blogs.
Here we have my Algoryn 500-point scouting force. Briefly, before I actually break down the army, it is important to note that Sergey and I both decided to take a commander specifically and to have no weapon support teams. Now, in all Algoryn scouting forces, you have to have 3 tactical choices, but you can have up to 4. You can have a single support, no strategic, and a single auxiliary choice if you choose. My first unit is, as I said, a commander. At 119 points, I brought the AI Assault Commander specifically. I've given it an extra member for 25 points, meaning it's 144 points total. My next tactical choice is a Assault Squad, just plain and simple, 120 points and no upgrades. My next tactical choice is just a normal AI squad. The leader has been given a mag gun for 3 points, and the leader and 1 X launcher has been given sling to ammo for 10 points, meaning the squad is 107 points total. My last tactical choice is just a bare bones AI squad, 94 points, no upgrades whatsoever. And my last unit, you can't leave home without them. They're the best auxiliary choice there is. The few, the proud, the Algoryn Medics. Now that's 30 points. I did not have enough points to give them better guns, but they got pistols still. I had 5 points left for a army option of block, meaning this force is 500 points exactly and represented on the battlefield by 5 order dice.
This is my 500-point Boromite scouting force. As you can see, it is just a whole lot of dudes with guns. In any Boromite scouting force, you must have 3 tactical choices. You may have up to 2 support choices, 0 strategic choices, and up to 1 auxiliary choice. Leading the charge, I have a Boromite Overseer squad. They are 105 points base, but I have spent 5 points in order to give the leader a tractor maul, making them 110 points total. Anyone who's seen me play Boromites before knows I never leave home without my Lavamite Rock Dog squad. They are 82 points base, but I've spent 5 points to give the leader a Suspenser platform, making them 87 points total. I have then spent 97 points each on 2 separate gang fighter squads. They're just a bunch of dudes with guns. I have finished off my army with a Boromite work gang with heavy tractor maul. They are 108 points base, but I spent 10 points to give them all reflex armor, making them 108 total. This entire army is 499 points, and it is represented by 5 order dice total.
And here we have our Viridian battlefield for today. It is quite dense, as me and Sergey love to do, but it is a simple battlefield. So going right in, let's describe the new pieces of terrain. So these pieces of area terrain are what we're calling the Viridian Boneyards, and they are the home, these are the indicators of where the homes are of the Viridian Vipers. You can tell by their weird steam vents that appear. They like to control the humidity in their little lairs, and that's an easy way to point out where they are, as well as the flesh-stripped bones that are strewn about. But yes, these terrain pieces are going to have the rules of they do not have, or they're not counted as light area terrain, so you get no negatives for shooting over them. If your models are within them, they do get +1 res, just like a scrub field, and it is difficult ground, so you do have to test your agility. But that's about it. And then there's going to be some special rules involving Vipers themselves, but we're going to go into that more in the scenario section. So moving on, we have a lot of our rocky outcroppings here. We'll say that as long as you are 2 of these levels, they're all made of inch-thick layers of foam. If you're 2 up, you are considered high ground. And then we have a lot of instances of broken ground, these little rocky patches that are going to be difficult ground when you go through them, and that's about it. And then everything else, we just decided to have as light forests. So +2 to your res, difficult to go through, and is -2 if you're shooting through them. And that's about it for this battlefield. Other than that, it's a lot of scatter that is just there to make it look nice. Like we said, we have a more narrative scenario today. So welcome back to Kevin's Imaginarium, where we're going to be taking a look at my new scenario, Crash Landing on a Harsh Planet. Now, this is basically a VIP extraction mission, and it borrows from a lot of concepts I've seen in wargaming before. But the role of this scenario, or the end goal of this scenario, is to find the hidden pod where the VIP is hiding. And to do that, we have to have an infantry or an infantry command unit enter the piece of terrain and scan kind of to see if this pod is in there. And the way you do that is you roll a D10. On the first area explored, it'll be there on a 1 or a 2. The next, it'll be on a 1, 2, 3, or 4, and so on until basically turn 5. If we've not found the pod, it will show itself on the table somewhere. Now, the challenge that we have is that anytime someone moves on one of these pieces of area terrain, you have to roll a dice. On a 1 through 5, nothing happens. But on a 6 through 10, one of these little holes will appear, and a Viridian Viper unit, which is 3 strong, is going to appear on the battlefield and in a random direction, a random D10 inches, basically from the unit that's testing. And what that does is it then generates an order dice. Now, the way that these are going to work is very similar to the creatures of the Zillos campaign in the Zillos book. The very next order dice drawn from the bag is going to determine who gets to control the Vipers. And the way it works is the opposite person of the dice drawn. So if Sergey's dice is drawn, I get to activate the Vipers before his unit goes, and vice versa. Now, there's a few other little special things. Now, we'll get into the stats a little bit as they appear on the battlefield, but if for any reason they're ever forced down from shooting or combat or anything like that, they automatically are taken off the field. They use their weird little snaky bodies to dig back underground where it's safe. But other than that, they're just going to be a thorn in our side that we're going to have to deal with. And the VIP works like in all the other scenarios. You have to move into contact with him to put him into your unit. You can pass him through units that you touch during your movement, and the whole victory condition is to get him off the field. Now, break values are not going to be present, so whoever has the VIP and the largest army at the end, if we've not managed to escape off, is going to be the winner in that case.
As far as deployment goes, both armies are going to run onto the field on turn 1, sprinting towards that objective.
Going into turn 1, each side has 5 order dice.
Turn 1, dice 1. Algoryn, I'm sorry, I forgot. We didn't say which dice was which in the dice analysis. I'm red, Sergey's green. For my first move, I will have my assault squad run onto the field. Now, I'm not gonna do a sprint because I don't wanna be getting pens for no reason, and I'm pretty close to the center. But these guys are gonna line themselves up so that they are charging right into the center of the field. Boromite.
My first gang fighter squad is going to run onto the field. Again, same reasoning as Kevin. I don't want extra pins, so it's just a regular old run order.
Mm-hmm. Well, the center line's not too far away either.
No, exactly. Boromite. My next gang fighter squad is going to kind of get this slightly safe position. Again, they're not going to sprint. Just don't need the pins. Algoryn.
Next onto the field is going to be my normal AI squad with dual X launchers and no upgrades. So they're gonna basically run to the crest of this hill. Have a commanding view.
Very brave. The
Yes.
sunlight beating down on their foreheads.
And that was not a sprint once again. Algoryn again.
It is time for my commander to join the fray.
He is going to do a full sprint though, so I can get 15 inches up to this rock face and also kind of hide. So I'm gonna have to do an agility test. My agility is 5. So I got a 6, unfortunately, and I get a pin.
Boromite. For the bruisers of the Boromites, I have a work gang with my tractor mauls sprinting onto the field. They're gonna get right about to here. They do have to take a sprint check, and we all know they have thick thighs. Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah, the thickest, with muscle. I can taste the acrid scent of the boneyard.
Algoryn again.
This time it's going to be my loyal medic squad. They're going to just hug right up against the normal assaults, allowing them to get some rerolls if need be.
Boromite.
My overseer, Rockjaw Grogmaw.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to remember that.
Sprinted onto the field. It's canon now. He's splitting the difference between these two units here with his command radius.
No, is he actually sprinting or just running?
No, just regular. He's jogging. Algoryn.
I'm going to sprint onto the field with my last unit of Algoryn, the one that contains a single X launcher and leader that has sling net ammo. And they're gonna go right here, and it's gonna require a sprint, and they're good.
Wow,
So,
good sprinting all the way around.
Yeah, that's what's up. So they are in a little bit more forward position.
For the last order dice of this turn, my Boromite hoverboarder is gonna do some sick tricks and get all the way over here with a 20-inch rapid sprint.
Wait,
I will have to perform a command test. I mean, not a command test, a sprint check. And fail miserably, which is not great because he's out in the open and just ready to accept bullets into his open arms. There is not much to analyze here. Both armies have pretty much done exactly what you would expect them to and spread out over the whole field because they don't know where the objectives is going to show up. The Boromite Lavamites received a pin, and so did the commander for the Algoryn, which could spell disaster if the dice are not in their favor.
Going to turn 2, there are still 5 order dice on either side.
Turn 2, dice 1. That's the Algoryn. That's not great for my Lavamites.
For my first action, I will do a daring fire order with my sling net armed Algoryn troops against...
Is it really daring if you're shooting at me from like a
Well,
football field away?
I'm gonna be exposed as well, so I could receive a lot of fire. So first and foremost, the sling net fired from the X-Sling is gonna be aimed at his handler. Whoop! I hit directly with a 1.
Brutal.
So that's just gonna automatically cause 2 pens, meaning he has 3 pens now. With that successful hit, that means I have 4 more regular mag guns, including the leaders, that are going to fire into him, hitting on 6s.
That'll be 3 hits on my Boromites, which is not great. I will take 1 on the leader. Ooh. Oh, and he kills a Lavamite. Brutal. That kills a Lavamite and puts me to pins equal to models in my squad, so I have to take a command test.
That's
Cocked, yeah. And I'm good. Boromite. My gang fighters are going to spin this first objective. They will run. There is an agility test for that. Oh, I hope I don't get a 10. That would be bad.
No, you're good. But you
I
only
don't
do half.
pass, so yeah, I'll get like there.
But that's all you
So
gotta
that's
do.
all I need to do. On a 1 or a 2 now, the objective will show up. And it does not, unfortunately. Actually, kind of fortunately for me. That would be bad.
Well, now there's another roll. Do
Oh, yeah.
you stir up the Vipers?
It's very cocked.
This is a terrible battlefield for rolling dice. And you do. So measuring from the center of his like unit kind of I'm just gonna knock out a Boromite. It's gonna be a random D10 inches in a random direction determined by this dice. So it's 3 inches that way.
Ooh, that's horrible for me.
So basically on this hill, a fissure erupts and out spews Vipers. Ooh, Vipers! Now this is where it gets interesting. The Viridian Vipers have an order dice, but it's not in the bag. whoever the opposite player is of the dice that I draw gets to utilize those before that order is executed. So it's going to be, I get to control the beasts, and then you get to control a unit.
You're right next to my 3-pin unit.
Well, it sounds like a sprint right into the back of these already in a precarious position. Boromite is what we're gonna do.
It's the Boromite's lucky day.
So I don't have a shooting attack, but I do get to sprint, which I have to test on an 8, and I pass. So you have to re-roll hits, but you get a plasma pistol as well as lava spit, correct?
Yes. My lava mites will be hitting on 4s with their lava spit. My handler will be hitting on 2s.
Woo!
Wow, okay.
Viridian Vipers only have a res of 5, so they only save on 3s. So you have killed 2 of them.
I do have to re-roll both hits, and I miss with both. I have a Mag Lash, which will get 3 strikes at strike value 1, and then 2 Lava Mites, which each get 3 attacks at strike value 2. I am at strength 7 with the Lava Mites, strength 8 with my handler. 7 because he did not charge. That's 1 miss, so 8 hits.
1 takes 2 strike value 1s. Ooh, fails on 1, it's dead. Dead. And mega dead. They still get a rebuttal.
Oh, you suck. That's 4 misses, so I do have to take 2 saves. I'll take 1 on a leader, and I'm good both counts. Well, I just got very unlucky and then very lucky subsequently. Take that, you sushi-looking pieces of garbage. I'm going to commit pretty hardcore to a strategy here and run and not sprint with my Boromite Overseers to spin this objective. I'm completely ignoring
Knocking everything over.
I've done this take like 3 times and I'm knocking over every time. I'm not doing it again. It's a 40% chance. Oh!
You did it!
I swear I can smell a cloaking field, boss. The objective has appeared, but we all know what happens when you shake the dirt patch.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no vipers.
All
right,
you lucky
nice.
son of a dude. Boromite.
Yes.
I'm gonna use my block.
Oh, okay. So. Shake that bag. Take your hand out of the bag. You can feel the warmth.
Yes!
I'm going to play it a little bit safe now that the objective is out and put my squad up on this rock, the AI squad with 2 regular X-Slings into ambush.
Me again! Now, for this order, I am going to give an advance order to my assault guys, which is very weird and counterproductive for assault troops. But the truth of the matter is, I don't want to just have them run forward and not, and basically just get chewed up by those lava mites without at least being able to have some sort of attack on them. And I'm definitely within range to assault in the next turn if I get the initiative, rather. So this is going to be 10 shots. They are rapid fire, so I'm unfortunately only hitting on 4s.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
Taking 1 on a leader, 1 on a regular guy, and I'm good on both counts, but I do have a command check here. Oh, I make it! Boromite. I will be performing a recovery order with my Boromite Lavamite squad.
Damn you.
Not something they usually are doing, but I pass, and now I need to roll a d6.
Lose only 2, lose only 2. Dang it.
3, so I have just 1 hit on me now.
Boromite again.
This work gang is taking the responsibility upon themselves. They're going to run and sprint and attempt to grab the objective. They do need to make an agility test.
Roll a 10. No.
Oh, I actually pass, which is nuts.
I get the sprint as well.
Sprint check as well, which I do fail. So I do get a pin, which I'm stealing from this lava mite. I'll give it back to it.
Now, as you come into position, I'm obviously going to spring my ambush with the Algoryn on the hill.
Obviously.
The first rounds are going to be from the X launchers. There's 2 of them, so I will aim at this middlemost person and hopefully put a pin on those guys as well. I think I'm only hitting on a 1, 2, or 3, so I miss. It's going to deviate a D5, so it's going to be 4 inches that way. I think it's going to hit.
It's definitely going to hit the overseer, yeah.
Now for the second shot. Once again, hitting on a 1, 2, or 3. Misses on a 6 again. Deviates 4 inches again, but it's
so
more.
It's probably gonna hit the overseer again.
I don't know though, it might still hit them.
So yeah, well, the overseer ate a lot of lead just now.
The remainder of the unit is gonna fire with their 2 mag guns and the leader's mag pistol into the work gang. It's gonna be hit on 5s and 6s. First, let's see how the overseer squad fares. Only 3 hits, that's actually not too bad.
Saving on 7s, and I'm good across the board, but I do get a pin.
2 mag guns and a pistol. All hit. Sergey sprinted, so I must re-roll. Only the mag guns hit.
Take one on a leader and one on a regular guy, saving on 6s.
Nope, it's 7s because of the train, but you lost both times no matter what.
Yep. I'm good. So I do lose one guy and get a pin. Well, one guy died and I get a pin here, but I still have 2 inches worth of movement, so I'm just gonna kind of shuffle on back here a little bit. do some acrobatic flopping. And take this with me. Now, it's important to note that you might be looking at this unit and saying, oh, Sergey is just gonna daisy chain the VIP off of the field, and we kind of decided we didn't like that too much because it makes the scenarios go really fast. So we're going to make it so they have to give it to another unit, and that unit cannot move in the round that they're given the VIP. So the VIP isn't like teleporting 50 inches, you know, kind of.
It makes them more stuffy.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
oh, good heavens.
Exactly. It should be more of a burden, I think. Now, we can't forget that I may have upset the Vipers. And I did not.
Dang, you lucky duck. Boromite again.
My last unit is my Ganger Squad, and I did their movement off camera because it took me like an hour to actually get them balanced on this. But 4 mag guns are now having line of sight to this assault squad. So I will be shooting them. Hitting on 4. That'll be 1 hit, and it's a lucky.
I have a medic within range, so Sergey's opted to attack my leader. And I'm fine, but I get a pin.
As the sun sets on our miniatures, sorry about the lighting,
My medics are going to do really the only thing they can do. They don't move very far, so they're gonna do 5 inches and shoot their pistols at that work gang squad, which is at long range, so they're only gonna be hitting on 4s. Just gonna roll up here. I'm hitting on 4s. I only hit once. You have to save on a 7. And
I'm
you're
good, but I do get a pin, which is always unfortunate.
Last unit is the commander hiding over here, and they are going to run through this crevasse and up into that, getting really close to them and hopefully summoning some Vipers. Now, I have to pass a test because I have a pin, so on a, oh, that's an order dice. My command of 9 is brought down to 8, so I'm good, I lose the pin, but I must sprint. Oh, I get 2 pins, and then I must do an agility test for the train, and I fail, so, but it doesn't matter, so I'm touching it. I must now roll for the Viridian Vipers. And nothing shows up. You picked the inactive, he got a lucky landing zone.
A lot more has happened in turn 2 than turn 1. Chaos has erupted in the center of the field because the VIP was discovered by the Boromites. Now, pins are kind of abounding in the center here. The objective carrier has 3 pins, 2 pins on Kevin's commander, and 1 pin on the overseer. So it's going to be a very dicey turn no matter who goes first. Also, Vipers are going to be summoned anytime somebody moves out of this terrain, which is pretty much anytime anyone moves in the center of the field.
Still not a single unit has been taken out, so it's 5 on 5 on either side.
Turn 3, die 1. I could really use this.
Whoa. This is a moment of truth. I'm going to attempt to run order with this unit with 3 pins. They do have 10 command because of this guy, so it's 7s. Oh!
You son of a dude!
Yes! And they are going to run and do exactly the maneuver
What? You have
that
to
we're-
roll to see if you get out of that.
Oh, yes,
legitly.
yeah, sorry. No 10s, okay.
That
Oh,
cock.
God, yeah. Nope,
8, so
I
you have to
do,
do half.
Yeah, move half. Oop, I forgot to, I do need to roll a sprint check here. So I do receive a 4th pin, which is pretty spooky.
Well, no, you lost 2, so now you have 3 again.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, you lost 2, so now you have 2 again.
At least we're consistently gassed. But the VIP is now held in the tender arms of this Boromite commander over here. That was a messy shot. So for clarification, this unit has made it all the way here and handed the VIP to this Boromite gang fighter squad. This Boromite gang fighter squad now cannot move. They can shoot, they can recover, they could probably do an ambush order, but they cannot move. On top of all that, we do need to roll for Viridian Vipers. And there are Viridian Vipers.
Well, that's 10. Okay.
Using this Viper as a token, it will scatter 10 inches in a random direction.
Oh, you son of a dude.
7 inches right towards Kevin. Scattering 7 inches, that will put the Viper den right about there, and the Vipers will now appear within. Now I have a Viper dice in hand. Whoever does not get this die pull will control the Vipers.
Be a Boromite dice. Come on.
What is it?
It's Boromite. Yes.
Okay, well, you get a Viper turn.
So I'm of course going to be a bastard man and use these guys to charge and sprint into the unit that has the VIP. They're
Of
attracted
course.
by the musky plumage of the VIP.
This is just like the rogue drone, how they always come to you. The Vipers always follow your orders because they know you painted them.
I will of course have to perform a sprint check, which they pass thusly. And so now Sergei gets to shoot with 5 individuals at them, hitting on 5s, strike value 1.
That'll be only 2 misses, but I have to reroll because they sprinted, and 1 more miss. So that'll be 2 hits on the Vipers.
Saving on 4s. Ooh, you only kill 1.
I've killed 1, but Kevin still gets 4 attacks at strike value 1, hitting on 7s. And I, on the other hand, I'm only hitting on 6s, 7s with the leader. I have a mag pistol, which is strike value 1, but the rest of my strikes are strike value 0.
Hit with every last one.
Saving on 6s. Wow.
Son of a dude.
6, 6, 6, 1. 6 and 7s again. Whew, not great, but I do hit 3 times.
Saving on 5s. First one's dead. Second one's fine. The Vipers have leadership 5, so they're down to 3, and they fail. So they thrust, well, the one that survived thrusts itself underground.
I have rebuffed the Vipers, however, I cannot make my consolidation move because I grabbed the VIP this turn, so I am stuck where I am. I am going to run and sprint with my Boromite Lavamite handler and hopefully execute this leader unit. However, I have a whole lot of checks here. I need to do a sprint, which I'll roll right here. I passed the sprint.
Wow.
Agility. I don't pass the agility, but it's irrelevant because, oh, actually, almost forgot I did have a pin on them at the start of this turn, so I need to roll a command test and I passed fine.
Okay.
Now we're going into point blank shooting. I have Lava Spit hitting on 7s and a Plasma Pistol hitting on 5s.
And then my accuracy is unfortunately down to 3, but I do get 4 shots with plasma carbines.
Boromites? Pretty good, pretty good. I hit with the 2 Lava Spits.
Saving on 5s. Oof. So you kill the leader, but my normal guy survives. The illustrious commander still gets to shoot though. Ooh, and I had 2 hits, but you sprinted, so I had to reroll. So I miss everything.
Kingslayer.
Oh my god. So now into combat, all 3 of my guys have the D spinners, which are going to hit on 6s, and it's a compounding strike value 2 hit, 2 attacks apiece.
I will be hitting on 8s all across the board. 3 of my hits are strike value 1 with my Electro Lash, and then 6 of my shots are my toothy maws of my Lavamites that are strike value 2.
It's more like it. I only missed once, and these do compound.
1 strike value 4 on a Lavamite. He's good. 1 strike value 4 on another Lavamite. Also good. And my leader is fine. Oh my god, my luck this round. Boromite striking back, and striking back heartily, only missing 1 hit.
I only have 3 characters left, so they're taking a lot of hits. So strike value 2 puts them down to 5s. So that person is dead. A lot of saves, dead. And the last character, also dead.
And with that, my entire unit is wiped off the field, having not even caused a single pin to the Boromites. Now, before they do their consolidation move, they are going to potentially have some Vipers appear.
Vipers! Vipers!
Ooh. So, Vipers do appear. Centered around the handler. They're going to be 8 inches in a weird direction.
Unfortunately, these Vipers are still in a position where Kevin can launch them like little torpedoes at my VIP unit, which is kind of his only hope right now. For my consolidation, I'm just going to move out of the terrain so I don't trigger a million Vipers the next time I move.
So now we see who controls the Viper. And
I hope it's me. I haven't gotten to do it once this time around.
yeah, but my luck has been absolute
That's
garbage
true.
this
You
game.
deserve to be the Viper Whisperer. And you remain.
Screw you.
It's Kevin Viper Tongue. Kevin the Viper-tongued
Yes.
Viper Whisperer is once again torpedoing
Yes,
his
I have to
Vipery
sprint.
friends at me.
I don't get a pin as long as I don't roll a 9 or a 10. So they don't get a pin, they've sprinted, and it's the exact same setup. He gets to shoot at me first.
All hits. Rerolling. Wow. 4 hits.
God, what have you done today? Saving on 4s. First guy is fine. Second guy is fine. Third guy, not so much.
So I lose another Viper as they squiggle up his stupid pinnacle fort, but now it's in my court. 4 attacks, strike value 1, hitting on 7s.
Come on.
Ugh, 2 misses.
Saving on 6s. I'm invincible. I cannot be killed. I hit with just 2 hits.
Saving on 4s is good. Saving on 5s is not good. So I take a pin, I have 2 pins, so I must test. And I fail, so Sergey wins again.
And that's another Boromite win with no pins and no casualties. I have been sacrificing a different brand of chicken to Rick Priestley. I think he's responding to it. Now that the Vipers are done, I do have an order dice. I will be performing a firing order with my Overseer squad all the way into this unit with sling gun ammo. Command check, I just need to not roll a 10, and I'm good. And then I will be hitting on probably 4s. Yeah, definitely 4s.
That's 2 hits from Sergey. I am at res 7, so I'm saving on 5s. And I have a leader. Oh, the leader gets to reroll, and it's fine, so I do get a pin. Algoryn, finally. For my first action, I'm of course going to utilize these troops, or at least try to, before they get any more pins, to fire at this unit holding the VIP. Now, I have a pin, so first I must pass my leadership, which is 7 or lower, and I do, so I lose the pin. I have 1 X launcher, which I will aim at the centermost unit. I'm only going to be passing on a 1 or a 2, so I miss. It deviates a D5, 1 inch this way. So I hit the unit, causing 2 pins to start off with, but I still have 4 mag guns that get to fire on 4s or higher. Algoryn again. In a similar fashion, I'm gonna shoot everything I got into that Algoryn AI unit to the Boromite unit again. This unit has 2 X launchers in it, so once again, I'm only hitting on a 1 or a 2. So a 3 misses. It deviates 5 inches, so it's actually missing altogether. The next one hits on not on a 3, deviates 4 inches this time. I think this is still fine though.
It might hit the other unit.
That's what I'm saying. No, it's not gonna
Oh,
hit.
yeah,
It's just gonna hit the other
guy.
guy, yeah. Yeah, so it just hits this one. It's not close enough to hit the other guy.
Heard.
The Micro X launcher causes a D3, which is 2, strike value 0 hits. But I also had 2 regular mag guns at extreme range, and neither of them hit. So Sergey has 2 strike value, 0 hits to contend with.
7s. Oh. All good.
The Boromite.
My gang fighters are shooting a firing order off into this assault squad. My pistol is at long range. My mag guns are at effective range, meaning I am at 4s and 5s. My gang fighter squad will be performing a firing order into this assault squad. My pistol is at long range. My mag guns are at effective range, meaning I am at 5s and 6s.
Since this is basically the end of the game, and I really don't want to lose a bunch of guys and get pinned in this spot with the
Only unit that could potentially screw them up, I am going to react by trying to run to cover. My initiative is down to 6 because of the pin. Well, that's this game right there.
Pretty good, pretty good. I missed twice.
I'm saving on 6s across the board. And of course I lose both my regular guys.
Oh my god!
I am right next to my medic team, so I get 1 reroll, which is just worse, so yeah.
Rick Priestley, I'm so glad you like the chickens I got you.
The mag rounds rip through my poor back line, causing a 4th
Absurd,
pin
dude.
because of my horrendous luck with initiative saves that has followed me my whole career. Oh, well. So, wait, is that 2 pins or 1?
2 pins, yeah.
Okay, well, there's that, I guess. So I'm looking at the state of the field. These guys are basically out of the fight now because they have so many pins and I can't move at all this turn. These guys can't move anywhere near the objective, and my med team is the only person who hasn't gone, and he has most of his units mostly alive and right on the edge with the guy. I'm gonna read the writing on the wall, chuck this up to horrible luck. My dice rolls have been terrible.
Yeah,
It is a Boromite victory.
Oh goodness. I I am under no compunctions that the gods did not smile down upon the Boromite.
That should have been Hamburger Hill, man!
Oh my god, you just couldn't. You shot so many times
Yeah.
and hit so many times.
2 full squads of Algoryn, which are definitely not known for their lack of shooting, fired into them, no effect, and they absorbed 2 charges from the Viridian
Dude, you were
Vipers.
literally just throwing like
Nothing.
fistfuls of snakes at me.
Yeah, like
just,
by all
slapping
rights.
them away.
My
It was
luck was
ridiculous.
so bad with my normal troops, which by the way, like, I think it's funny how I can never get an initiative test. I never do.
No, you just shouldn't roll a reaction.
But it's 60% chance it was more likely to happen than not. It makes no sense.
I know. There are certain things that some people shouldn't do.
But I will say I liked how. Did you think the scenario worked though?
No, I think the scenario actually worked really well. I think a lot of times I don't like scenarios like this because I don't like the fact that like it's almost always the smartest move just to never search. You know what I mean? You end up in a
Not
stalemate.
in the beginning. You don't want to search. You don't want to be the first person to search because your likelihood of finding something is really bad.
Which can often kind of devolve it into like a firefight or just somebody tries to kill the other person.
Well,
I think the Vipers actually did an adequate job of interrupting that flow.
Yeah. Because you could, I mean, the thing is, too, is that it would probably devolve into a more firefight, especially in higher point games when you have more units to screw around with. But we did kind of narrative it up a little bit by saying, like I said in the beginning, we chose to have a command unit, which, you know, is more expensive than the normal one. So we were a little bit
Although it really worked out for me. I really needed that 10
That worked out really well. Mine was a little less, just killed in a horrible way. But with the smaller games, it really does force you to move forward. The Vipers worked pretty well. I didn't want them to be too strong. They weren't too strong.
No.
I would say they were a little bit weaker than they should have been.
Just a tad.
Yeah, when I write down the stats for them, I'm going to increase the Vipers to have 3 attacks at strike value 1, just to make them...
I think that makes sense.
I didn't want them to be world-ending units, because as you saw,
you don't
they turned into like rocket launchers.
It would be good
for
if
me.
they like took a guy out.
Exactly.
You know?
There should at least be like a more higher potential of losing at least one person to him. But once again, though, Jesus Christ, you rolled so well.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But that was really fun. And if you all enjoyed watching that as much as we did producing it for you guys, absolutely help us in our battle against the algorithm and like this video. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and enable a notification so you can see when we release new content.
If you want to support this channel even further, we have an affiliate link right beneath this video. It'll take you to the Warlords store, and any models you purchase there will give us a small commission. On that note, the models Kevin used for the Vipers are actually Reaper miniatures if you're looking for those.
Don't forget, we also have a spring link where you can find TTW swag and support the channel and look fresh to death while you're doing it.
But the best way to support this channel is to join our Patreon community. Our patrons are the lifeblood of this channel. On that note, we do have a brand new tabletop squire, Eric Apunkt. He is joining the ranks of the TTW army, where I will teach him personally to hew vipers in twain.
And with that, we conclude this episode of the Tabletop Warlords. We will see you all on the tabletop.
Thank you, Kevin, for blocking
the sun.
blocking the light over there.
You got it, buddy.
You're an excellent light diffuser.